Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition? Stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion. Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die.
And here we are once again.
Welcome. I want to first start off in the most holy name of Allah, always bearing witness that there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger. I would like to greet you all in the greeting words of peace in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Welcome to your Thursday Night Talks.
You said it right. Your Thursday Night Talks. Yours.
Accompanied and always bringing knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to help do what? Save lives. I am your co-host, Sister Khalila Muhammad, and I have my dear brothers, Brother Tony and Brother Mark, who's also doing the most with all that we have.
We're doing the most.
We're all doing the most. The most is the good thing.
I don't want to be mediocre.
No, the most, the foremost. There we go. The foremost.
That is the language of the Quran.
All right. And with that being said, what we supposed to do, Brother Tony?
Oh, you already know because you get it from other podcasters. This is no different. You subscribe, you share, you like, you cut and paste the URL and you share it with 5 other people, 10 other people, 20 other people. Go to those group texts. Go to that group me that you have. Go to that WhatsApp. Go share it with whoever you could share this information with, so that more people have access to this awesome and wonderful conversation that we are planning to have here tonight with one of our most awesome brothers in the nation, which I will not be introducing him. Brother Mark will be introducing him in just a moment.
You know, Brother Tony, you ever had someone that does so much, but is so underrated? And without this person,
there's nothing underrated about this brother.
And it's not. But the thing is,
he oftentimes is a silent worker.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He's so silent to when if things don't. Listen. If he's not present, a lot of things won't happen. I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah.
This brother is like. You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking. I'm just gonna stop.
Yeah, because I'm introducing him.
Brother Mark, don't do that. Brother Tony, I am going to hand it over to you. The floor is yours.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness to the oneness of Allah who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, the Supreme Being, to whom holy praises are forever due. I am forever thankful to Almighty God Allah for his divine intervention in our affairs and raising one from among us, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes.
He is the pinnacle of example of what a human being should look like.
That's
Yes.
right.
I thank them both for the preparation, for the development of the one that we have in our midst today. He is also the pinnacle of example of what a human being should look like. The pinnacle of example of what a worker looks like. A shining example for us all if we have the vested interest in freeing the minds of our people. I thank Allah for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. In their divine names, I greet you in peace. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Abaragani, Hotep, free the land. Buenas noches. Did I miss anything?
Sapakse.
Yeah.
Greetings in all the languages that our people speak. And we're greeting you in whatever greeting you give to your people. We are one people. We greet you in that great greeting right now as well. This is Thursday Night Talk, spearheaded by the 7th Region Coalition to Help Save Lives. This coalition was assembled by our student regional minister, Student Minister Patrick Muhammad, soon after the Criterion message in 2020, specifically July 4th, 2020, by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We were assembled specifically to guide our people in a time of uncertainty, in a time where we could have easily been making the wrong decisions because of so much misinformation. And we will say purposefully. We were being fed misinformation. And so here we are nearly 5 years later. Nearly 5 years later, we're still going strong. We are still working on behalf of our people, guiding them to safety today through the 9 ministries given to us by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And these 9 ministries were given to us during the time of the Millions More movement. 9 ministries all geared towards the human being finding their purpose, their divine purpose in life, which it by itself is oriented towards saving lives. Tonight, we are focusing on the Ministry of Information, which is the central agency which provides services that include the development of all sources for informing the public of the policies, plans, and strategies necessary for the free flow and accessibility of information, essential to an informed and empowered citizenry. This includes collection, research, and dissemination of current events, history, analysis, the publication of books, pamphlets, magazines, and use of the internet and social media. It is also responsible for the development of information systems and network to secure internal and external communications, media program, development and management, and establishment of an Office of Media Affairs and Press Secretary. Our beloved brother tonight works in multiple capacities to bring different people throughout the country and internationally together, and is intricately working towards seeing a better people being produced as a result of it. And we look forward to our brother tonight, dialoguing with him, which Brother Mark will be introducing him right now.
Yes, sir. All right. Brother Terrence T.C. Muhammad has been a community activist and organizer for over 2 decades. His experience spans voter mobilization campaigns, issue advocacy, and coalition building in African American communities, faith communities, on college campuses, and among civil rights and progressive organizations. He works at the intersection of economic justice, criminal justice reform, climate and environmental justice, youth empowerment, and community health. His primary role as community outreach manager for the Hip Hop Caucus is to coordinate grassroots mobilizations with advocacy agendas at local, state, and federal levels. This involves working with local and national issue-based coalitions, hip-hop caucuses, grassroots leaders, and elected officials to ensure communities' voices have a say in the policy-making process. Brother Terrence has been a key force behind executing many of Hip Hop Caucus's campaigns, tours, and major events, including the 2008, 2012, and 2016 Respect My Vote campaigns, environmental campaigns, including People's Climate Music, the Hip Hop Caucus Act on Climate HBCU Tour, and the Green the Block campaign, and the Make Hip Hop Not War Tour for Peace and Justice. His entertainment industry expertise includes directing on-the-ground logistics and management for events, concerts, and touring artists, which are services he has provided for such acts as Ludacris, Rick Ross, 2 Chainz, Biggie, T.I., and Russell Simmons. Brother Terrence is from and lives in North Carolina and proudly wears the banner of an Aggie, having studied psychology at North Carolina A&T State University. He remains very involved in his local community while raising his son. Welcome to Thursday Night Talks. For a discussion titled "The Time Is Now to Serve Your Own," Brother Terrence T.C. Muhammad.
There he is.
Straight hilarious. Straight hilarious. That long old bio.
I didn't come in long.
It was me, Brother Terrence. Yay!
We should have added. We should have added to the bio, beloved, because you besides being involved in the Hip Hop Caucus, you are very much involved in the Nation of Islam on multiple capacities. Always behind the scenes, making sure that things function properly on a national level when we have our national events at Savior's Day, the national training. I mean, there's so many things that you've done, Brother Terrence. You serve in the ministry. You always have our people in mind. We're very honored to have you on the program here.
That's right. That's
you
right.
Pushing for this for a while. I think for about a year already. Trying to get you on.
Booked and busy.
We got you on.
Booked and busy.
You down, brother.
My type of brother.
Now, we didn't pin you down. You agreed. You accepted, and we're very thankful.
Praise be to Allah.
Praise is due to Allah. Okay, so Brother Terrence. Listen, first of all, I'm a fan. I admire you. And a lot of times we don't give credit to people until they're pretty much gone out of sight. Mm-hmm. But I admire you from afar. And my observation, it's one of those things that, I had to question, right? Mm-hmm. So the phrase, a link in the chain, figuratively means one of the stages or elements evolving in a process, a sequence. There, where each part is necessary for the overall outcome. Based off of my observation of the work that you do for our nation, how do you feel being identified as one of the most important links to some of the most monumental events in the Nation of Islam history?
Which event is that? All right, which event you talking about?
Right, exactly. So many, right?
Well, let me say first, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, Muhammad is his messenger. And I was just thinking about coming on here, and I was like, how should my greetings be? And we always want to bear witness that there is no God but Allah. Bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger, and we are talking about the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And I know a lot of people say, well, I cannot thank Minister Farrakhan enough. And, and we say that, and sometimes, well, I ain't gonna say sometimes, but I think people need to know that when that believer says we thank Minister Farrakhan, it's not a cliche. It's not just a regular greetings.
Mhm.
And we thank him, and we thank the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad for these teachings because they change us.
Right.
They grow us, they evolve us, and we're still growing and evolving. And this conversation, that I agreed to, sometimes I don't, I didn't prepare. I didn't look at notes. I didn't write down what I wanted to say or do anything to prepare for it. But when we say we thank the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I absolutely love that man.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that man. So as I'm talking now, I already can feel it. I'm already an emotional person, but I know this is going to be very emotional for me. Probably therapeutic because sometimes I hold stuff and I don't even know it. And I say that because in the last year, starting March of last year and August of last year, Fox News labeled me, and it was a kind of smear attack on my job, on my president, whatever they was doing, but they labeled me a top soldier of Farrakhan. I was like, well, at least they spelled my name right.
Come on.
But the point I'm making is that the enemy is watching, and then they dropped another article in February of this year. So when you say, a major link, I don't see myself there. I just see myself as grateful to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for allowing me to meet brothers and sisters that allow me to help in any capacity that I work in. So when you say help in an event, I'm thankful to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for his National Assistant Student Minister Ishmael Muhammad, who I work with, at Savior's Day, and our Student National Protocol Director, Brother Raouf, who allows me to run around to help and assist. And literally just about every department there is in our nation, I'm assisting and helping, and I do it with pleasure. I do it with honor. And even as you said, the national training, the 30th annual training that's coming up in July, to work with our brother, our Grandmaster, Dr. Abdul Aziz Muhammad. This is something that I enjoy. So I don't look at myself as a major link. I look at myself as the basis of our teachings: accept your own and be yourself. And I say that because when you talk to some of my counterparts, it's like, Brother Terrence, go do what you do. And sometimes we don't know what you do, but do what you do. And they see me doing, and whatever I'm doing works. But that is me growing into me accepting my own and being myself. So I say that because the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the one that brought back the teachings. He's the one that brought back the words of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, so I can hear it and know that I'm accepting my own and being myself. So if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be a part of a link, as you say, in the chain of those that have come way before me, those that mentor me. So all this that I'm doing, the good and the bad, there's people behind the scenes that are helping me. And there's a lot of people, and it's interesting you asked this question, because one of the things I wanted to do at the national training, I'm giving y'all up to date something that I'm gonna do.
This is an exclusive. Okay.
And I was going to give a shout out to all of those brothers and sisters that assist our national representatives or our local laborers that do the service of security or helping or assisting. Like in churches, they have the armor bearers. And that is, in churches, the armor bearer is a high prestigious job to make sure the pastor has his water, make sure the pastor gets to where to get, even his handkerchief, whatever the pastor needs, this armor bearer is there, his security, to protect this man who delivers the word of God. And there are brothers and sisters that do that work in our nation every week, not just for national events, that are not seen or not necessarily recognized and not necessarily known about what they do, but they do it tirelessly. But we do it out of the love that the minister has put in us for this mission and this work. And not just say we love him, but we actually love the work and we love our people. And that's because of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Praise be to Allah.
Praise be to Allah. You can say what you want to say, Brother Terrence. You are the link. You are the goat. So,
Brother Terrence, I'm gonna say this before I get to my question, because I think you and we were like in and around hip hop, like common hip hop circles for a while before we actually met.
Yes, sir.
Like I started like meeting people. Brother Terrence? Like, no, brother. Like it was in the Nation of Islam that we actually met. Right. But there were hip hop circles that for years we gravitated towards, and people knew about us, and we knew the same people pretty much.
Right.
But how we move, beloved, some people may not understand why we move the way that we do in different circles. As both a member of the Hip Hop Caucus and the Nation of Islam, you have worked towards getting various political leaders, groups, and organizations to work together in unity for the betterment of our people. What would you say has been the driving force and example for you to do all of the things that you do?
Once again, I'm gonna go back to the Minister Farrakhan. But let me be very clear about what I said, because sometimes we say the minister.
Right.
So the reason why I say it is because it's a I'm trying to. I always tell people in my community, I'm a Baptist Muslim. So Baptist, we give the long version, we give the short version. And I say that because today is very significant. Today is my father's birthday. And during the time of my college years, I was known. I was going to every party, every gym. I was known househead. I danced at house, every party. And I met this brother. He told me to come to this meeting, a history club meeting. It was the Afrocentric Radical Club on campus. We was fighting for mandatory Black studies on our campus. And at that time, I met Dr. Ridgely. He was on campus, our farm coordinator, Dr. Ridgely. But I met my mentor, Irvin Brisbane, rest his soul. Irvin Brisbane was in the Nation at the time. And at the time, Irvin was a person I looked at in the Nation and brought me in with another brother, Brother Eddie and Brother Willie Muhammad. But Irvin was a community activist. So we were doing programs, and he was like the mentor to the history club. We were doing programs on the college campus with youth that was coming from one of the neighborhoods, Morningside homes, and we would actually go into the community. So I didn't just have consciousness on campus. He thrust me into activism, and he was the one that was bringing me into knowledge of different books. But he was in the Nation, but that consciousness bridged me with the Black consciousness. I grew up in the church, so I had the church down there. I'm activist. I'm a Black activist. I know the Yoruba. I knew Asara Set, so I knew all these different things. Then I knew the Muslim community, and from there I joined the Nation. So because Irvin knew the minister and knew or were part of the Nation, that connected me to him, which connected me the teaching and being in the community, because it was one thing to have the teachings, but how do you apply that and organize and moving our people? We can't have a teaching and we're not doing anything as it relates to what's going on in our community. When the minister went out into the neighborhoods after someone was killed and a mother lost her son and we gave her flowers, no, we need to give the FOI. We need to be where they are. So I got involved in activism, and then that led to local, state, regional, and eventually national. But it was because of the minister that he instilled love for our people. So I started doing security. We're in the Nation, we do security. So I would just be doing it for people that would show up on campus in the city, not for pay, not for a contract. And I still do that. People just assume that I'm on contract. You secure everybody, you everybody. Like I'm just there. It's not like a paid thing, but I see the value. And a lot of times we don't see the value in those that are our representative. And the minister hasn't said nothing bad about a Al Sharpton, a Jesse Jackson, or our greats. He loves them.
Right.
I've seen the minister in many, many different arenas where he see people. I've seen him see T.G. Jakes, and he went over like a child, like, and just hugged him. Yes. He has so much joy of our Black leadership. He has so much love for our people in general. So I carry that same spirit when I'm around our leadership, and I make sure that I'm secure, and I'm making sure that I'm looking after our people. That is the love that I have. And when we talk about the hip hop community, it was interesting after those articles came out I started taking pictures with a lot of big celebrities, big name artists, and I'll take a picture with them. Some I post, some I didn't, and I'll say, "Can I send the minister the greetings from you?" And I would just send in the minister greetings from all these different artists and all these different people and all these different people, and they know I'm in the nation and they know I'm with the minister, and that continues to help put him in the proper light, him in a good space. And I started by saying my father, it's his birthday today, but the point of my father was that it was during that time of my consciousness that I got back close to my father. And it was my father that instilled, we went to church every Sunday, unless the snow was up to here or I was sick where I couldn't walk. And we knew the Bible verses, we knew the books of the Bible, we knew that we read, we knew church. And I even taught Sunday school one time. But because of that fulfillment, I know what I'm looking at when I see the minister. I literally know who I'm looking at. And that's just my personal, that's my personal. I know when I see him who he is. So for me, I love him, but I love our people. And it's because of him that I have so much love for them as I'm working on loving myself, because for a long time, I didn't love this black skin. And I didn't even know I didn't love it. Now I'm like, oh, I'm black and beautiful. And even hearing that from the minister to say that one time to me put me in tears. So it's because of the minister that I see the value in us, see the value in this work, see the value in our people, and see the value of doing this.
All praises due to Allah.
All praises due to Allah. Yeah, I remember first seeing Brother Terrence. He might not even remember this, but I first saw Brother Terrence. It was years ago. We used to do this thing called National Singles Retreats.
I know.
Brother Terrence, he was doing what I see him doing now. He was going around doing that. I'm like, who is this brother? But he was making sure things were happening as he does now. And I was so proud to see him. Real quick before I get my question, when it was the minister doing a press conference at the Watergate Hotel.
Yes, sir.
He was talking about how they had removed the book, the placards for the books in relationship between blacks and Jews. He said they removed, but I want them up there, and somebody all of a sudden put them back up there. So I'm like, oh, that's Brother Terrence. So, but it's just beautiful to see my brother, and such an honor to have him on. My question, Brother Terrence. In the 2 to 3 decades in which you have been frequently traveling the country to organize events and campaigns, what would you say have been some of the greatest challenges that you have faced trying to unite our people toward a common beneficial cause?
I mean, I think the challenges we always have. One is ego. People want to have their position, they want to have their platform, and then some people just don't want to commit. For me as an activist, I see a lot of activists get into the movement, or new people get in the movement. And I always put my pretend watch on and see how long they're gonna be there. Because a lot of people love the moment, the protest. They love this, but they don't want to do the longevity, the work that it takes behind the scene to establish institutions and actual systems and structures. That takes a long time. Dr. Bridget will always say, y'all ain't doing nothing. Y'all just talking. Come down here and grow some food.
Right.
I remember.
And you would be down there, Brother Terrence.
Oh, no, I won't. I help Doc as much as I want, but Doc, on that farm.
Right. Oh, it's no joke.
Work.
No joke.
But the point I was going to bring up about Doc, and I'm going to go back to the Watergate too.
Yes, sir.
The thing about Dr. Ridgely, one of the times we had his lecture on campus, and talking about unifying, we had the Nuwapians, we had the nation, we had the Muslims, we had the conscious, we had the Christian. They was all arguing over semantics about this and this. Dr. Ridgely held up some food, and he said, if you don't grow none of this, none of your argument matters. Right? And when we think about 10-15, Minister Farrakhan, someone asked, what's going to unite the Christians and the Muslims? He said, we seeing this killing of us. We seeing them killing us. That's going to unite us. And I think what happens, we get unity at one point, but then we want to either be in charge, or we don't want to stay together, or we come together on superficial things, but we really don't have the real love in ourselves. And Minister talks about, if our love is deep enough,
Right.
You know, so my love is deep enough so I can go to church and clap with them because I know who Jesus is. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
But I can go and secure because I'm not. Matter of fact, when you said rap, Fat Joe said it best. He said, "I know how to be number two." In other words, I ain't got to be up top. I know how to be number two. And he said when he was rolling with his brother was number one, and he was securing his brother. He said, you know, they asked, well, you put DJ Khaled on, you brought him into the game, and he said, Fat Joe said, I'm rich. He said, but DJ Khaled, he rich. But he said, I know how to play second. If my brother's doing good, I don't mind. I'm securing my brother. Most of us can't do that. Most of us can't step away and actually help and uplift others. You should know by now on my social media, I say my squad. I love seeing my squad.
Yeah.
I love seeing my brothers and sisters. And these are people that I actually know. And I love seeing them do it. I may see a brother that's homeless. That's my squad. That's my brother. To a brother that I know is a movie star. To a brother I may know is a millionaire, or somebody that's doing this work. I am joyful about seeing that. And that's what the minister loves to see, the bouquet of our people and the skills and talents. He sees the best in us. And I think that we have a trouble unifying because our own mental slavery still wrapped in us. And then the enemy does come in between us. The enemy does send folks in, the enemy external and internal causes this division. But as the scriptures talk about in Ezekiel, the valley of dry bone, they started to rattle. But he said, prophesize unto the winds.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So we're going to stop teaching and preaching to you, but we're going to let those winds blow, and that's going to whip you to come together in unity, whip you to come while we're constantly still trying. But we have to also offer our people something. We got to offer them a teaching, then we got to offer them a way to come out of the lifestyle that they have. Right. Like, I love the brothers on the block, and I always say, hey, man, let's find a way we can flip that money so that you come off the block and do something else. Right. As the minister said, I'm not going to condemn you. I'm like the son. I'm going to raise you up. By these teachers, raise you up and purify us through raising you up with love, with care, with knowledge. And I've seen so many brothers come away from that lifestyle, not by condemnation, but guidance and love, and they've changed their life. So unity comes sometimes when people are just had enough. But then a lot of people want to hold their positions. And that's, I think when we talk about passing the torch and we talk about unity and young people, I'm like, well, usually pass the torch to somebody's running. You know, you don't pass the torch. You know, you run in a relay and you see somebody just standing there, you ain't gonna pass the torch. You want to pass that person who's running. It's a natural progression. So sometimes we say, well, we ain't got no unity because y'all don't want to pass the torch. No, you ain't doing that. I'm gonna get off to the next person who's doing the work. We're gonna naturally pass that off. So some folks don't want to unify because they don't want to give it up. Some people don't want to get in the race. You know, that's a lot of different things around that. But I would say this: I'm not worried about what's not unifying us. I'm looking at what is the way to get around all of the stuff that divides and come together. That's all I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about what can we do to come together. Somebody asked me about somebody the other day. I said, I don't really care about them in the sense of, oh, y'all don't like them? Okay, that's nice. They're not bothering me and stopping me from doing no work. So cool. If you disagree with them, okay, just don't listen to them. Don't go over that way. Right. I'll focus this way. And that's it. I'm doing this work that we have been assigned to do.
Yes, sir. But Terrence, we do suffer because of our short-sightedness. And the scripture says itself that my people suffer because of lack of knowledge. Also, it speaks about vision. Without vision, the people perish. And anytime that we are able to provide vision for anyone, from those in the streets to the suites, and give them a new idea, like, look what's happening. This is what's really happening. And then we have a wake-up call, like, what? Oh, man. Like, man, you're right. That is a win for us collectively.
And that's our mission, to give that light. to give the wake up call. That's what we're supposed to do.
That's right.
Right.
And let them come together and let us come together. You're right. And that's why I say we suffer from the lack of knowledge. So we have an obligation and a responsibility to get that knowledge.
That's right.
Right.
Well, beloved, for anyone that has attended Savior's Day and the national training and any of our national events in the Nation of Islam, you are usually standing on the side or right by the stage, making sure everything goes right. How did your key involvement at nations events come about?
Well, thanks to Sister Claudette Marie Muhammad, maybe about 25 years ago. Well, I think it was 2008 when it was all about the youth. I think I was helping Sister Claudette on the stage. It was allowing the youth to work. And Sister Claudette told me, stay right here beside me. Stay right here. And she would not let me leave the stage to help assist her on the stage, seating everyone. And then it just became me doing that everywhere, working with our national team in different capacities and being able to just travel and just end up being there. When I was there, then I would assist. But that stage was Sister Claudette. And then by the grace of Allah, when Brother Raouf came into that position, that post, he allowed me to continue to work in the capacity that he allows me to work in. And I'm saying that very mindful because these are positions in everything I do, I am allowed to do with permission. This is not me just running ragged on my own. I am under supervision. I am under someone's charge. So anything I do, I'm blessed by the opportunity to, with Brother Abdul Aziz, allow me to come. I think in 2013 was the first time I went to the national training because I saw a flyer in 2012 as I was preparing for Holy Day of Atonement in Charlotte, and I was like in tears. I said, I will never miss the next one. And I went in 2013. I was so excited. I'm learning. Second, I was like, oh my God, I'm learning all this stuff from my own nation. And then I think 2014 or 2015 was the first time I actually started to co-host and host. And that's, Brother Abdul Aziz allowed me to stay and then been on the national planning team and just to continue to work. And I think that's what anybody, if you prove yourself that you literally are interested in working, because be rest assured, you may see me, but you may not see the aches and pains on my body and the late hours or the early mornings to make all that happen. But those that do this work, we love it. But it is a thankless and tireless work. Not that we don't get thank you for our peers and our brothers and sisters. And of course, the ultimate thanks is from we're grateful to Allah to be able to serve. But it is work, and you really have to love it. And I actually love what I do. I love to help serve. I love to help do all those running around that I do.
And it shows, beloved. It shows.
It does. Definitely shows. Praises be to Allah. We're going to kind of go into, because you wear many hats, brother. I mean, sometimes we have to identify which hat that you're wearing.
A lot of people say that.
But in your role as an event and field coordinator of the Hip Hop Caucus, what is your function and responsibility in this particular position?
Let me be very clear. That is just a title.
Just a title. I know. They just had to do it something.
The reason why I say that, I'm grateful to be able to work with our president, Reverend Ewa, and the Hip Hop Caucus. But basically, it just means that I coordinate our logistics on the ground. And usually we always do prep and the Google Docs and the briefs and going through stuff. But I'm the one that literally gets on the ground and make sure things are set up, make sure logistically we get in. And I use this training, if we need to get transportation, if we need to get in, security, just all of the logistical things. We were just at Dreamville this past weekend. J. Cole's festival was 52,000, and we had a booth for the nonprofit section, and I was there for that. And then I had to literally fly out that Saturday night to go to LA for a movie screening that was done in our LA office around Cop City. So one of the blessings been that is traveling across the country to help our people. We do a lot of stuff, not just on mobilizing, getting people registered to vote. And I tell people, I say, I ain't into just registering to vote. I'm into you identifying what are the issues, what are the things that are going on in your community that affect you, and what is the political process to get done what you need to done for your communities, or to stop people from disenfranchising you. I'm not into, oh, we need some more soup kitchens. No, I want to know, how do we get affordable housing? How do we get living wages? How do we get mental health for our people? So part of doing that is legislating and making policies. So I'm on the ground to make sure that people are registered, to make sure they put people in their office. And I'm also in conversations on the ground where if you're not into the political process, you don't want to vote. Okay, cool. Where's your land? Land that you find? Where's the food that you're growing? Because if you're not in this system, how are you building something else? And at the same time, when I deal with environmental justice, you know, I'm dealing with the power plants, the pipelines in our community, the polluting of our water in our area, like Cancer Alley in Louisiana. So when we talk about me in the caucus, it's more so about me being on the ground, making a relationship, building community in our communities, and not only identifying the power that's in the community and letting them recognize the power. I'm not someone who swoops down into the community. I'm somebody that walks on the ground and asks to be invited, or asks, can I sit on the porch of Miss Jenkins and talk to Miss Jenkins, and be invited to the community that I'm serving. I'm here to serve the community, not to bring a program and an agenda like some nonprofits and some organizations do. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to either offer a service, or how can we help deal with an issue that you may have going on in your community. And that's always how we could enter into any community. We should never just say, hey, we're here. No, right. You should always know those that are in the community. You should be invited in the community. You should spend time with the community, because the community are the people experts. I'm not the experts. I'm in a position with a job that helps to empower our communities. So that's part of the role in some of the things that I do with the Hip Hop Caucus. But that's just who I am as a community activist before I ever got into the caucus. I'm just blessed to be in a position to do it, because if the job wasn't there, Brother Terrence is still here, and that's still what I'm gonna do.
Thank you.
Allahu Akbar. Brother Terrence. You referenced the Honorable Minister Farrakhan many times, and I like that. The Honorable Minister Farrakhan teaches that blessed is the person who knows their purpose in life. He urges everyone to look inward and recognize their purpose, as humans were created by Allah with righteousness as their nature. With that in mind, what would you describe as your purpose, and what motivates you to achieve it?
You know, I'm still trying to put a defining word or something to it, but I do know I love to help us and help our people and to serve. It would be almost strange and rare to see me sitting at any event. And I'm talking about any event that not nation, just any event. I saw some of those social today about a meeting going on in the city. And I went to, it was an economic meeting, and all these, you know, city council and some high echelons of professors, different people. And I walked in, it was the International Civil Rights Museum, and I just walked in and, oh, hey, you know, hey. But I wasn't sitting down, just watching, see what was going on. Then they were doing the Q&A, and I was going to get the mic to hold it for the Q&A. Now, mind you, I ain't a part of the organization that's throwing it. I ain't even on the, I ain't even signed in to get registered from it. I'm just there. And then I left to go do something. Then I came back after lunch, and I noticed that the tables, it was a long line, and the tables getting full. So I immediately went back in the back alley and pulled out, you know, talked to the director and put out some tables and set up some more tables. But that wasn't my job. But that was my purpose. So what I mean is, like, when I go to any national event, you're not going to sit me as just sitting in as the rank and file. No, I'm there to work So every time people ask me when they see me at our national events, how you feel, brother? I was like, y'all know how I feel. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm like literally ready to work. I've been in events where I've seen people bring special guests and artists, and they don't have nobody on there. So no, I'm doing that security. You know, and I do it just not like there's gonna be a check at the end of the night or end of the day. No, this is just what I do. So I think for me, my purpose is really just to help and to serve. I always say I'm a good assistant. I love to assist. I absolutely love to assist people. I love to assist doing so. I do that in concert promotion that we do, and with my Diamond Life concert, I do it with the Beloved Community Center that I work with. I'm a co-chair of a health disparities collaborative. So I just love to literally assist. So I'm trying to find out whatever that is, but I just love helping. So you will see me doing that wherever I am.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Yes, sir.
So while y'all got quiet waiting on the next question that y'all pulling up,
Go ahead.
I just jumped in here because I said I was going to get emotional because right before I got on here, it hit me. Well, two things. One, tomorrow will be the 5th year anniversary of our brother Abdul Hafiz's transition. So I just thought about that. But also it's Thursday night. And for those that remember,
come on,
my beloved friend and sister, a star of God, I was her co-host on Elevated Place for 10 years. So, it's Thursday night. So it just hit me, when I agreed. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to whatever. I mean, whatever. But it's Thursday night and I'm doing a talk show. So, that was an honor.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was a blessing. And it still moves me because at the janaza for Sister Karen, Student Supreme's wife, we was at the gravesite, and as the minister was leaving, was escorting the minister back to the car, he stopped by Sister Ava's, and Mustafa looked at me and said, "You was part of her team." I'm trying to be tight on security. And I just broke down, for a quick moment. But that was a blessing. It was a blessing to be able to work with her for those many years. I literally worked for her and worked with her for 28 something years. No, how many? 94 for 26 years. I started working with her in 96. So 26 years, and 10 of those years was on Elevated Place with Dr. Ava. So I just wanted to mention that about her and Brother Hafiz, because we're losing many. And I think when we was opening about Flowers While We Live, we have to recognize who's in our lives, because I've lost so many. I've lost, I told somebody I lost 40 to 50 people that I knew between 2020 and 2024. Just 40 to 50. And it's still losing some pioneers and some great champions. And I actually left Savior's Day on Thursday night and flew back home for a funeral of one of my mentors and civil rights giants in the city and across the country, to his funeral, and then flew right back that same night. And I was in service there, service of Reverend Barber as he was giving the eulogy, but I literally was in service as one of the brothers was pastoring and saying a prayer. He passed out, and I actually was there to catch him, and before we gave him medical attention. And I don't know why I'm even saying all that, and I guess that goes back to the point of service. Being places where I wasn't assigned to do these things, but as you asked the question there, I see that God has placed me in certain places. And it's a blessing to be there. Because for a long time I used to say, and I guess this is where the emotional part. For a long time I used to say, I ain't supposed to be here. I ain't supposed to be here. I would end up doing this, doing here, being in this place, but I ain't supposed to be here. And I stopped saying that, and I started saying, "All praise be to Allah. Thank you for putting me in a position, and thank you for putting me in a place to be able to serve." So I'm always, I mean, like literally teary-eyed, grateful because the places I end up, the places I get to be,
Yes, sir.
all because of service. I'm beyond grateful.
So,
Yeah.
Brother Terrence, you all on my script, and I don't appreciate that. Let's start with that. So we wasn't just trying to scramble through those questions like you was
Well, I
saying.
gave it to him.
Kalila, he was
And I'm
tuning
just
in.
gonna
You
say,
hesitated.
He
listen,
was tuning in.
I'm just going. He is tuning in, but you gonna get off our
kinfolk
script.
here.
We're gonna get off our point
Well, I
page.
gave it to
'Cause
him.
I'm just saying, because look, he don't look at this. Listen, okay, I'm gonna ask my question anyway, Brother Terrence.
Yes, ma'am.
What was your role that you played in the many endeavors of our beloved Minister Ava Muhammad? And let me tell you something. On Thursdays, I already knew when we have no people on our show or tuning in. I already knew what time it is. I already know what time it is. Minister Ava is showing up and showing out. And then I had to hurry up and get over here and go over there and listen to. And I was like, oh, what the replay at? I need to hear the replay. Because I already knew.
I still listen to him.
Well,
so praise be to Allah.
No, it was a blessing. And so I always remember people, whether they're with us or not. There was a brother named Brother David from our city in Greensboro. And he said, "You want to go to Philadelphia with me?" And we went to Philadelphia in the summer of 1996. And we went in the room and met Brother Darius. And we had all these tapes. And it was like, we're going to, I was with Brother David to help save Sister Ava, sell Sister Ava's tapes. And so that's why I started with Brother Darius. So for like literally 15 years, I was close to Sister Ava, but I was talking to Brother Darius. It was Brother Darius calling me. It was Brother Darius talking to me. It was Brother Darius sending me her books, her packages. And 1997, I got to sell for her at Savior's Day. In 97, 98, 99, I was vending for her and people were just buying stuff. And I was happy because I was like, everybody was just coming to a table. And so I used to sell, and I used to travel wherever city they were in. If I can get there, it was already understood. Brother Terrence is selling for Sister Ava. I remember 1998 Holy Day of Atonement in DC. You know how brothers, if you just lingering around, brothers be like, "Brother, we need brothers." And he said, "What you doing, brother?" I said, "I'm selling for Sister Ava." He was like, "Oh, okay." So he didn't want to pull me away. And then when Sister Ava started her show, I said, I wasn't at the very first show, second or third, but I remember when I did start listening, I was one of those callers. Like when we started doing our show, we had regular callers. I became a regular caller. She's like, "Oh, Terrence." And I would be like on location with somebody, and I'm with this person. I'm with this person. I remember I had Jesse Jackson Jr. had him say something. I was with different people because of the work that I do, political activism, national artists, just in different arenas. And then one time Sister Ava couldn't come on. She said, "Could you take over the show tonight?" And I'm like, "Oh, yes, ma'am." I'm like, I ain't gonna say no to you, Sister Ava. And then the next week she's like, "Oh no, just stay on." And I ain't know it's gonna be 10 years later. So thanks, Sister Rona that was helping, coordinate a lot of stuff, and then the rest of the, as we call it, the A team. This was not something, and it's interesting. It was nothing. It became a part of my lifestyle. It was nothing that we getting paid for, but every Thursday I made it a point to be on the show. Wherever I was. Sometimes on a detail, I step out, give the greetings, get my first part, and so I got to go back on the detail. I remember I was on the island in the British Columbia, away from Canada. I landed in Canada, went an hour away to the island. I found Wi-Fi to call in to the show, just to make sure I was on that show with our Sister Ava. And I would bring on guests. She would let me bring on different guests and different people who would go with different topics. So, that's how I work with her.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It was on a Thursday night in 2022 when I learned of her transitioning right before what was going on.
Yes, sir.
Like, literally right before what was going on.
Yes,
Wow.
sir.
And we didn't do that show that night. So she's still close to my heart. And the first time I even spoke from Mas Marion was because of Sister Ava.
Wow.
And I was scared as I don't know what. You know, I've met the minister many times, but it was a particular time where it was saved. I think it was COVID, maybe it's been 2021.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we were doing the separation town hall.
Yes, sir.
And she's like, Brother Terrence, I want you to open up in prayer. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. But in my mind, I'm going to find Brother Daniel, I'm going to find Brother Abel, I'm going to find Brother Jeffrey. They going to open up in prayer. I ain't doing Ishmael, me open up in prayer. And she was like, no, you open up in prayer. I got you. You know, and she was always a defender of the believers. She was always a defender of the believer. So at that Savior's Day, I opened up in prayer, gave some greetings, and quickly got off that rostrum where the student ministers opened up on Sunday. And that was a special moment because of Sister Ava. And Sister Ava was, I know people know the beauty of her, but Sister Ava gave so much of her time for us. She dedicated her life to this mission. She had so many assignments from the ministers.
Yes, sir.
Even in transition, there was stuff on the table that she had so much, and she loved the minister. And if you ever look at or listen to a lecture, she will come out, and this was Sister Ava. She was like, she would just be so humble, like a little girl, just so humble.
Yes.
But when she gets on a point about the minister,
Come on.
if I say something about the minister, I always laugh because she may not see it, but she'll change gears, woo, and she'll rev up and she'll start going in. And then at the end of it, she's like, why y'all let me keep going on? And we would laugh, like, go ahead, Sister. We didn't take to none of that. She was a defender of Farrakhan.
Yes,
She
sir.
was no joke when it came to Minister Farrakhan. And even to the point, if you said something incorrectly, and I've said some stuff on the show, said, no, the minister said this, or no, it's this. She was very clear on her assignment and her mission, and she loved what she did. And all she wanted to do was to help the Messiah in our midst, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So when the minister said that a wedge was taken, that was big when he said that, Janelle. That was, you know, so yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Yes, sir. Brother Terrence, working our purpose, beloved. I'm going to shift gears a bit and ask you another question.
Yes, sir.
When did you, in regards to the Hip Hop Caucus, when did you first meet the Reverend Lennox Yearwood? And I believe he founded the Hip Hop Caucus. And how did the idea of joining the Hip Hop Caucus come about?
Well, that was a journey. So one, Dr. Ben Chavis is from North Carolina, and as a student activist, Dr. Ben Chavis used to look out for the students. And I remember seeing him at some national events that he looked out for us. So I always was very appreciative of Dr. Ben Chavis for what he did. And then later, and I say that because then Dr. Ben Chavis was a guy named Rex Chapman that he met, introduced him to Fayetteville. And after the Million Man March, when I was at the Million Man March, and this was like a journey, after the Million Man March, matter of fact, I got there at 2 a.m. on that morning, October 16th, and I was on the stage, but they pulled me to make the human wall so the motorcade can come in. I'll say, if I ever get this close to the minister again, I'm going to meet the minister. And a couple of months later, in November, it was the National African American Leadership Summit. And Dr. Ben Chavis had a guy named Rex Chapman put me and another brother up in the hotel. And that time I met the minister at Howard University. And so Dr. Ben Chavis, you know, him and Russell Simmons did a Hip Hop Summit Action Network. So I was going to those. So now I'm hearing that Russell Simmons and Reverend Run's going to be in Charlotte or Concord Mill Mall down near Charlotte. So I'm going down there, and there was a number to call, and this guy said, come on down here. And as soon as I see Reverend Yearwood, he was working with the Hip Hop Summit Action Network. He gave me a clipboard to do voter registration. I wasn't trying to do no voter registration. I was trying to go see. And this was in 2004. So I did a voter registration, saw them. And 2 years later, he called me and he said, we were doing this tour, Make Hip Hop Not War. And I said, okay, well, I can get you a spot on campus. That was 2006. 2008, he called me again. We're doing this Respect My Vote with T.I. I said, well, come on campus. We did that. 2010, he called me again. I got this girl, Gloria Rubin, D. Woods from Danny King. Can we? And we set up. And that was the first time they actually paid me to do something. I was like, oh, yeah. 2011, they said I set up a 6 college tour, one planet, one voice, fighting poverty and pollution. Was going on different candidates, talking about energy conservation and all this. And then in 2012, man, mind you, 2010, 2012, I was just working here and there, really wasn't working. In 2012, he said, well, our executive director, Liz Halfstead, said, you want to go to Miami? I was like, yeah, I want to go to Miami. So they flew me to Miami, put me up in a nice, man, looky here. And we're doing a photo shoot with 2 Chainz, and at that time, group Travis Porter. And I helped set up security, Brother Lyle, Brother Al, security.
Yeah.
And I went and picked up 2 Chainz. And that's the first time I heard him. He was like, man, if I would have known we was going to the photo shoot when this guy picked me up, he didn't say the guy, I would never came. He said, look how God works. And that was the first time I saw the other side of 2 Chainz. And I'm saying that about him because later we see 2 Chainz with the minister. I remember at the music record studio, and he was listening to the minister. So you just never know about artists. But after 2012 going to Miami, they had me going across the country doing voter registration. I was on a BT Black College tour. And then when November came, I thought election is over, it's over. But Reverend Yearwood kept me on. And I've been there since 2012, 2010, all those different events. But I met him in 2004. But I tell all the current staff workers there, I said, Reverend Yearwood paid a phone bill for me. And what I mean by that, as an activist, we weren't doing this for money. We're traveling here with all the little dimes. And I said, I can help you, but I ain't got my phone get ready to go off. He paid a phone bill. And I started helping him. And then in 2012, he would send me an email. I booked your hotel, booked your car. I need you to go here. And then we just kept on, and we built the caucus, and the caucus now allows me to travel. And the caucus has been blessing me to do this work to help our people. And Fox is trying to put a stamp, connect me with the minister, but the reality is I'm with the minister.
That's right.
And everybody know I'm with the minister. And I'm going to be with the minister.
That's right.
I wouldn't be alive without the minister.
That's right.
I wouldn't be able to do anything I'm doing without the minister. I couldn't have none of security. I wouldn't be in entertainment. All the stuff that I'm doing activism is because of the minister stood up to bring these teachings back to us in different ways. The teachings have come to me through different people and my love of people and the character that I have and the good that people see is because of the minister. So I'm very grateful, even though they're trying and have tried to use that as a way to get to us. But this work is going to continue. This work has to and must continue.
Absolutely.
Praise be to God. The minister is hip hop.
Most definitely he is.
Without question.
To be very clear about that.
He is the full.
You gotta understand that the minister in New York in the 70s, when we talk about the birth of hip hop, right? Teaching in New York during that time that hip hop started the birth. And what was all that consciousness that was in hip hop? Somebody was in New York teaching. That's
right. Come on.
I understand when you say the minister is hip hop, like he is hip hop.
He is.
And those that are in hip hop still listen to the minister, new and old, and you can hear Young Gifted and Black, Big Daddy Kane. We hear in the Poor Righteous Teacher,
that's right.
Brand Newman's. We hear Karis. We hear the teachings all through,
all the way down to Kenneth Lamar.
And they love the minister. Without question, they love the minister. Openly and privately, they love the minister.
Right.
All praises.
I love the minister. I said on YouTube.
I love minister too.
Again.
Of course.
It's already recorded.
You see my vinyl back there?
classic.
Wait, can I get something real quick?
Come on.
Hold on. I don't have to
Oh,
go
here
too
we
far.
go. Here
No,
we
he
go.
gotta bring out.
I'm not
bring
gonna
out
bring
record,
out
but
his-
I'm
that's,
not gonna go too
but that's
far.
why I love
Yeah.
it. Come on now.
What y'all know about
Come on now.
This album right here was sampled all over the Public Enemy's second album,
Right.
Takes a Nation $1 Million to Hold Us
Yeah,
Back.
yeah.
And I was just with Chuck
Look what I got right here.
last year.
That's hip hop right there.
No, that's real. And I think people, we have to continuously bear witness to who he is. The love that he puts into us, and we got to be examples, good examples and good representations, not just of the minister, but this body of teachings that we have from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And that he always lifts up. He always says, I'm your brother and a student of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The minister is who he is.
That's right.
Because he doesn't see himself or put himself, even though he is who he is.
He is.
We're clear on that.
Facts.
Yes.
But he always makes us know to where we look, the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But I'm clear that he is the eternal door to the eternal leader of the Nation of Islam. I'm very clear on who he is. And I know, and I'm grateful on this day for my father's birth, that it may have been hell coming up, reading the Bible on Thursday. And man, and I just realized we used to read the Bible, the picture book, on Thursday night before the Cosby Show. I ain't even think about
Come on,
that.
talk about Thursday.
It just came right before the Cosby Show. We was trying to read the section before the Cosby Show come on. But all that reading helped me to recognize everything I'm watching him do and say, you can't tell me I don't know who I'm looking at. I can shout because I know my Lord and Savior.
All praise. Excellent, excellent. Well, once again, Brother Terrence, Allah is giving you the answers to the next question you already stated. So, you must be in the spirit, brother. Allah.
Hey, hallelujah, praise the Lord.
So I'm going to just allow you to add any other comments. The question was, please discuss your role and great work with the Hip Hop Network. So I'm going to allow you to add anything else you want to add regarding that, anything else that you haven't touched upon.
Well, I would just say this. I'm blessed to have that. I continue to work with an organization called Diamond Life Concerts. We have done, over 25, 30 years, done all of the A&T homecomings, which are large homecomings, and done many different concerts outside of homecoming across the country. I've got a lot of different friends that are Grammy Award winning producers. One of my boys, Gaff Beats, just got a Grammy, coming up doing something with Beyonce, Fanatic from here, Ski Beats. There's a lot of different folks that I know that are artists. My boy Terrence J, who's a movie star, he's sometimes still on BET. I remember when he was a freshman in college, at A&T. So hip hop is something I grew up on, something that I love, something that I listen to. And I'm talking about hip hop, the culture. I'm not talking about the 8 to 10 songs on the radio. I'm talking about there's hip hop that are still in resistance in Brazil, in China, in Africa, in France. There's a lot of hip hop artists that people don't even know about that's outside of the radio that still speaks to the culture. I'm watching now our Asian brothers and sisters breakdancing and doing it well, or even b-boying and b-girl and DJing. So the culture of hip hop is so expansive beyond the 8 to 10 songs that this industry is trying to force down our throat for intentional reasons. But I really don't have anything to close. It's just to say that I'm grateful to Almighty God Allah for allowing me to be in a place where I'll be even asked to be on something to even share.
Praise Allah.
I see myself as Brother Terrence. I love assisting those that are doing. I know some of my friends and younger friends always say, man, when I get to greatness, I want you to secure me, and I always say you are great right now. A lot of people are looking to be great, and I say you are a star right now. People just haven't recognized who you are. And I say everybody that's quote unquote a star or a big fame person, they are local somewhere. They're someone's cousin, brother, or they're someone's friend. They're not necessarily all that special without the light. They're just a regular person with their flaws, with their good, their bad. And you are that. You may not have arrived there. And that's why when Brother Saad, when he first came on Student National Secretary, he said all these unwrapped gifts. He had been in nature. He was down in Atlanta. You know, he was teaching in Chicago. You may not have known him when he first spoke at MUI. He said, because the minister told me to speak. But a lot of us, the issue is a lot of us are waiting for the light to shine on us and say, hey, here I am, here I am. And I would say it like this. Russell Simmons said this one time. I saw people coming to Russell Simmons, giving them CDs. And I saw this box of CDs. I'm like, Russell ain't taking those boxes of CDs with him. He ain't gonna listen to him. But one advice he did give to all those rappers that was coming to him, he said, just know this. Just go make noise or buzz in the streets. He said, because if you make a buzz and noise in the streets, you ain't got to worry about coming looking for us. We coming looking for you. Because they going to come looking. Who is this that everybody's talking about? Who is this that everybody's saying? Who is this? Right. So when you are doing the work, you ain't got to worry about you going to look for no position or looking for somebody to give you anything.
Right. Talk about
work. You will be recognized for the work that you're doing, not for the position that you hold.
That's right.
I told somebody I was an SGA student government president for 10 years and I never ran once because I had influence on those that were in those positions because I was friends of those in those positions. Just go do the work. Stop looking to be appointed a position to do what you want and need to know, or you know it needs to be done. So I'm blessed to be in places because Allah has allowed people to see that he literally wants to help. He literally wants to work. And that's a love of mine. So I didn't ask for this. I'm granted that by the grace of Allah. But when that spirit is taken or I don't want to do it, I'm like, oh, you got to pay me. Or, you're going to quickly lose that. Because Allah, I know all of my blessings come from Allah. And it's only through him that I'm able to shine. And it's his blessing and his spirit that gives me the energy to do what I do. So I think for all of us that want to be on a podcast or want to be known or seen, learn who you are, accept you on to be yourself. Because one thing I know, I can't do everything. I can talk for days, but you want me to build a car? Oh, I ain't building a car. You want me to do a Google Doc? And I ain't doing a Google Doc. You want me to create a graphics? I'm not doing that. You want me to do some poetry? I may do that. It may sound crazy, but I may do that. But people have their own special gifts, and I honestly absolutely love promoting the gifts that I see in all people. And I mean all people. I have so many friends. So that's what I love. I just love us to be who we are and to do the beautiful things that we do. And I get enjoyment for seeing and helping those do that.
Brother Terrence, this is like Friday night study group. Like once we're starting to wind down and close out, people coming out with some heat in the form of questions.
Here they come.
There you go.
I'm gonna post up this one. I believe our beloved sisters in your city.
Sister Joy.
Sister Dr. Joy.
Sister Dr. Joy. Please.
Sister Dr. Joy.
Pardon me, Sister Dr. Joy.
Brother
yes.
C.
So this is a trick question by Sister Dr. Joy. This is definitely a trick question because we have been wrangling with this. She's a doctor of acupuncture, and I have gone to get acupuncture because I have and still neglect myself for doing for others. And one thing that one thing I'm learning is rest and doing something for myself and self-care. And one of the things we have to do is take better care of our health. Take better care of our mental state, our relax, because you really can't help others if you don't help yourself. Bingo. So we say that, but how actually are we practicing that? So I actually had a acupuncture session today that I haven't had in a while. But like I said, it's a trick question, but it's a deep question. Because if we don't take care of ourselves, then that which I love to do, I'm not going to be able to do, because how can I help others if I'm not helping myself? Exactly. So part of where I'm working is allowing me to do more in a lot of different areas because I'm blessed to do that. But self-care is something that we have to do. So yeah, so I thank you for throwing that question out there. But no,
Brother Terrence,
it's a real thing, and it's not an easy thing for me, and that's why I say in the process of loving myself, I love to do for others
yes.
and external. But am I truly loving them if I'm not truly loving myself and doing as much as I'm doing external, internal? And that's my journey that I'm working on.
Allahu Akbar.
I think the three of us, Sister Khalil, will be back in just a moment. But I think we're kindred spirits when it comes down to that.
Yes, sir.
I get acupunctures down here, but we featured him on the show pretty often, Brother Mark, Dr. Love, and every time he does acupuncture on me, he's there putting me flat on the table, like, ha 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 ha, you're not taking care of yourself like how you should. And like physically I look like I'm all right, but he starts pulling some stuff out of me, like this right here, there's a whole lot of stress being built up on you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But Tony, something that you just said I had to touch on is very critical and very necessary. Talk to one another, be friends, and love one another in truth.
Come on.
Find you a confidant, find you someone close. Seek refuge in Allah first. Please make prayer. Call on Allah, because the reality is we learn how to mask. We learn how to look good.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us are literally dying in silence. Dying in silence. And I was one of those. Dying in silence because I had everybody over here. I'm great. I'm good. Look at me.
I'm good. That's a common phrase.
Dying inside. So it doesn't always look physical. It could be spiritual. It could be mental, that we have weight that we may not share with one another. That's why the minister brought us Dianetics. And at the other side of Dianetics is brotherhood and sisterhood.
Right.
It's like, if you don't have true brotherhood, and we need to stop faking brotherhood, faking sisterhood. Oh, someone like a sister, but you don't like that sister, or you're not really giving greetings properly in the spirit of actual actions to one another and real love. Don't give me cheek to cheek if you don't like my cheeks. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying it, and I don't know why I'm saying it, but I'm saying it in to say that our health is our wealth. But like you said, he's like, I can tell that you ain't all right.
Right.
I can feel this. And so when we can feel the spirit of one another, you know, and we have to check our own spirit and analyze, self-examination, self-analysis, you know, self-correction, and then share it with our brother and sister, not necessarily our secrets and deep and just tell it and pour it all out. But we need to check on one another. Are you okay? Are you really okay? Do you need something? And let somebody in security say, no, I'm not doing okay. I can use this help, or I can use this, so that we can get in the best health that we can. And like I said, that could be physical, spiritual, or mental.
Praise be to Allah. And beloved, that's connected to, we're going to make this the last question for Sister Khalila's husband, Brother Sean. He asks the question, what are the spiritual benefits you've experienced from being in service to others?
Look, I ain't never smoked. I ain't never drank. And like literally never smoked or drink, but I get high off of that.
Right.
That literally brings me. No, I literally, no, yeah.
Go back to your former life, Sister Khalila.
Right. No, that's a good song, Styles. But I literally get high. In other words, so much joy. I love doing it. Every major event that we have, I'm running there. I'm doing it.
You can tell, Brother Terrence, because you always so happy doing it. I have never seen you not smile.
Mm-hmm.
No, if Brother Terrence is not smiling, something's wrong.
It's something wrong. Something going on.
Oh yeah, something has happened when somebody, what am I doing? Move. But usually, the joy is of serving. It does something. I really can't explain it, but I enjoy it. I love seeing stuff go right and people happy, and I can sit in the back and just I literally love when the salon opened one time. I literally jumped behind the counter and helped start serving. I remember going up to Fine Dining one day and I was cleaning tables. And I was happy about cleaning the tables because I was at my salon restaurant. I was busting tables downstairs on different occasions at the salon. But that was bringing me joy. It was like nobody asked. I saw, we need to bust tables, and at this time it was short of staff. But I love doing that. And then folks say, "But Terry, can you do this for me?" But Terry, I said, "Yes. What you need? What you need?" That brings me joy. I love to serve. So that spiritual benefit, and it blesses me because then it allows me to be in other positions to continue to serve more and do bigger, more ways of serving. But spiritually, it literally feeds my soul. It feeds my soul. I feel so good to do that. And that's why I'm so grateful to the minister, because every time I'm in his presence, I'm usually in some tears. I'm just grateful. Grateful that he even knows my name. And and I think the spiritual part is that when you know you unworthy, because you know you and you know what your faults are.
Come on.
The more you can do to help God's mission in his work to clean up.
Take your time.
I'm just grateful that I have the opportunity. I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to serve. I'm grateful that he, the minister, loves me.
Yes, sir. Come on.
So I love myself.
Praise be to
Allah. Beloved. Yes, sir.
Allahu Akbar.
Allah Akbar. Thank you, Brother Terrence. Thank you.
Powerful words.
Right.
Thank you.
Words to think on and reflect on and live by. Because it's all about gratitude.
Yes, sir.
Sincere gratitude. And we just had a lecture from Mas Mariam. Allah hates ingratitude.
Yes, sir.
So we got to remember that. I'm so thankful as well. So praise be to Allah. Sister Kalila, what do we got next?
Oh God, we got tears because Brother Terrence is making people cry.
Sister Kalila, before we go there, look, we got somebody over here that I think she deserves her own show. Sister Joy.
Of course, Sister Joy.
Joy, look, I got your face there and your comment on the screen. Will you come on for a program in the very near future? We got some open dates, dear sister.
We definitely got some open dates for you.
Now don't turn us down on live TV.
Right. You gotta go ahead and say yes, beloved.
Right.
This is your opportunity to serve.
What you say, Sister Joy?
Opportunity to serve.
She says, ha ha ha, all praise to
but is that a yes?
And then she says,
we'll see. Oh, we gotta check the calendar.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna do like how Brother Terrence does that Nation of Essence.
Booked and busy. I love it, Dr. Joy. I love it, Dr. Joy.
Oh, wait a minute. She says here, I'll need Brother.
No.
As co-host, good Lord.
Y'all setting up. No.
We gonna follow up. We're gonna follow up.
We'll talk.
Her show. Yes, that's what you're saying.
Sister Kalila will call you.
Right, exactly. Absolutely. Okay, I heard the last question. Okay. So, with that being said,
we're closing out, sis. We're closing.
We have our last segment of our show. And it's called the Knowledge Corner. And it's where you gain knowledge, you gain power. And our Knowledge Corner theme for today is serving others is a blessing, as you mentioned. And I am going to turn it over to Brother Mark to identify why serving others is a blessing.
Yes, ma'am. Serving others is a blessing that comes with many, many benefits. Number one, growing our capacity for love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. All of these are important. Another benefit of serving others is experiencing the joy and peace that comes from obedience.
Mhm.
Another benefit is becoming more forgiving and caring toward others, something that the world needs more of. Another benefit is receiving blessings upon blessings when we step out of our comfort zone to serve other people. And lastly, another great benefit of serving others is reflecting the character of Jesus himself, who said, who came, well, I'll just say it, reflecting the character of Jesus himself, who came not to be served, but to serve.
That's right.
So that's our knowledge corner for today.
All right.
Praises be to Allah. Brother Terrence, any closing remarks?
All praises due to Allah.
Oh, the praises
That's the
be
closing
to
remark.
Allah.
The closing remark.
That's it.
That's it.
Praise be to
That's
Allah.
it.
Well,
Praises
well,
be to Allah.
Sister
Well,
Kalila, if any of the viewing audience benefited from anything that they experienced tonight, you already same way.
Listen, hey,
Got the radio in the head going
I'm a
on.
little
this
quick on.
All right.
I'm a little
So-
quick on the.
Beloved family, if you were touched by anything that was said tonight, if anything, you felt like it was a motivator, it was a booster for you. We have, of course, this Cash App address, and anything that you're able to give, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. This is a labor of love, but of course, what comes along with it is finances. The streaming service that we use is not free. They don't tell us, oh, y'all are so nice. You're about saving lives. We're just going to give you the streaming platform for free. No, it don't work like that. We have bills to pay too. Every year we get a bill from the streaming service that we're using. And we thank you for whatever you are able to do to defray some of the costs. It could be a couple of dollars. It doesn't have to be a large amount. Now, if you send a large amount, we're just going to put it to some good use. We're not going to send it back. We're just going to put it to some good use. And we thank you for whatever you're able to give. And please continue to tune in as we are devoted to saving lives. May Allah God continue to bless you all and your family.
Praise be to Allah. All right. Well, that was a great show.
It was an awesome show. What you talking about?
Awesome show. And tune in next week. We're going to have our part 2 next week.
Okay.
So
next week or the 24th?
Sorry, the 24th. I'm sorry, I just got.
Well, you'll see the flyer on social media.
Yes, you'll see the flyer, and always remember, our time has changed. So,
set your alarms and set your notifications. Look, if you don't even have to get on an alarm, just subscribe on YouTube.
That's right.
Just click on the bell. It's going to automatically notify you.
That's right. Right.
Facebook
Even on Facebook too.
It's hit and miss, but YouTube, you'll definitely get the notification.
All right. And Brother Tony, I'm just going to turn it over to you to end the show.
Dear family, tune in next week. May Allah continue to bless you all and your families. Next week, same, I like to say same bat channel, but we're not bats. Same channel, same time. May Allah God continue to bless you all and your families. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.